Hi everyone, how are you? It's me coming to you live. Today is a book club. So for those of you who don't mind this pen mark on my copy of Body Belief, but today we are doing book club and we are at chapter 3 in Body Belief. And so for those of you that are interested in the book club, stick around and grab your copy of Body Belief. You can see all the previous episodes of chapter 1, 2, and now 3 in my Instagram story feed and also up on YouTube. All of our videos from Instagram go up on YouTube as well. From one group to the other. You guys are great. Yeah, I was just live in my private community. My Yes You Can Get Pregnant e-course students, answering all their questions. And then now I hop live to all of you. And then I go back into another private group at 1 o'clock for our first round of group coaching, which I'm super excited about to support those 8 women in that group. But so for those of you that feel like tuning in and hearing about Body Belief, so a backstory, because I know I have a lot of new followers too. I've written 4 books. Body Belief was the 3rd book of mine that I wrote. And I wrote this after writing Yes You Can Get Pregnant and really discovering that so many women dealing with fertility challenges had unexplained or undiagnosed or mismanaged autoimmune conditions, and or I would throw in there inflammatory conditions. And so it was my desire to write a book completely on autoimmunity and how it related to fertility, but my editor really wanted a more general book. So you will see that this isn't specific to fertility. However, for any of my fertility girls that are dealing with autoimmune diseases and see that they are complicating their fertility journey, this is a great place to start. As well, the diet that I developed in here, in Body Belief, then became the egg quality diet, which I then adapted for the macronutrients that are very specific to fertility. So the diet in Body Belief is very similar to the diet in the egg quality diet, but the egg quality diet's very, very specific for fertility, whereas this one isn't as specific for fertility. But both are geared at healing the gut, regulating the immune system, and allowing your body to heal and thrive. And this whole book, along with all my teachings, are really geared at healing the gut, regulating the immune system, but also regulating and calming the nervous system, which I do think those 3 pillars are the foundations to healing anything, but particularly when I'm working with fertility cases, women who are dealing with fertility challenges, and there are most all of them have some kind of inflammatory and or autoimmune tie-in. Those 3 pillars are incredibly important to heal. So I want to get into chapter 3. This is where I talk about the pillars of Body Belief, which again, I think are the pillars to lasting health and healing no matter what you are dealing with. So the 3 pillars are reconnect, renew, and reawaken. Reconnect means to reconnect to yourself and to begin living in your body again, to begin hearing the speak that your body is speaking to you. I feel this way when you do this. This makes me feel like this, right? Or, the thoughts we're continuously thinking, and are they supportive or are they not supportive to ourselves? And to renew is taking what you've learned in the reconnect and start to renew the common beliefs that you have about yourself, your body, your health, your challenges. They say that we have 50,000 thoughts a day, 90% of them are the same. And so in that renew pillar, we're really working on renewing our belief systems. And then in the reawaken is where I introduce the diet and the lifestyle changes that will dramatically impact, as the title says, how to heal autoimmune diseases, radically shift your health, and learn to love your body more. I mean, who couldn't benefit from that, right? So this is the part I want to read to you guys aloud. I've been in the business of health and wellness for, at the time I wrote this book, it was 13 years, but now it's 18 going on 19. Is that right? What month are we in? I think it's 18 going on 19. That's crazy pants. I've been in the business of health and wellness for 13 years, but we know that that's 6 years more now at this point. And what I've learned is that the indispensable key to getting someone to take back the power over their health is getting them to realize they actually do have power over their health. Most people don't realize their power. Most people don't exercise their power. In fact, most people hand over their power to their ingrained beliefs, like, I'm old, there's no hope, or my doctor says this, so I'm just going to believe that, or how can I heal from this when my mother, father, grandmother, whoever, X, fill in the blank, had it? The body belief plan challenges those limiting beliefs and shows you a pathway back to your power. Its guiding principles will teach you how to reconnect to yourself on every level so that you can renew the beliefs that you have about your body, and from that place begin shifting your behaviors to best support and reawaken your health. The most necessary pillar of the body belief plan is to reconnect to yourself. So as I was saying, reconnecting means listening to your body, hearing the conversation you have in the privacy of your own mind, questioning your beliefs, and getting back to knowing you as you are right now. So, like, understanding and hearing your beliefs. So, basically a belief is just a thought you keep thinking, and then you decide to think it into reality. And I don't mean that from a very, manifestation perspective. I mean that, literally, we will create our own reality based on our beliefs, because what we do, and this is all scientifically proven, and you can do all the research. There's a lot of research in here too. It's been shown, evidence-based. What we do based on our beliefs is we seek out social proof from our environment to show us, see, my belief is true. See, women over 43 can't get pregnant. See, that's my belief, and it's true because she doesn't do it. She can't do it. She can't do it. We don't seek out the women over 43 that have actually gotten pregnant because it questions our beliefs, and that's very uncomfortable for us. If the belief is, I'm too old, or my doctor says there's no hope, then you just kind of stay in that belief. You tell stories about that belief. You find other people who agree with you about that belief, and you create the social proof to then keep that belief going and very active and very alive and very real in your life. And the best thing about beliefs is that they are changeable, that you can question them, that you can, if you will, open up to possibilities of them actually not being true. So when you reconnect to yourself, you hear how you talk to you. So important to healing. Because, so much of what I talk about in all of my work is there's physical inflammation. We know inflammation is a killer. We know inflammation ages us. But very few people talk about emotional inflammation. And that's really what I dig into in this book. And I talked about it way before I wrote this book. And I talk about it every day since, of course. But the emotional inflammation really is that self-attacking self-piece. How critical are you of yourself? How hard are you on yourself? How kind are you to yourself? How much compassion do you have for yourself or for your situation? So when you reconnect to you, you begin to know you better than anyone else and to understand that you have the power. Through reconnecting to yourself, you begin to own the fact that you have the ability to see things in a different way. And so I talk about too, as many people walk around in a state of complete disconnect. And I give examples. They lose themselves in television, social media, cocktails, codependent relationships. They all do the same thing. They disconnect you from yourself, your feelings, your pain, your situation. I don't think that it's unhealthy to disconnect at times. I think that can actually be a very good way to survive, especially really stressful situations. As long as you're going to pick it back up, though. As long as you know, you're making the conscious choice, I'm going to disconnect right now because I kind of need to, and I'll pick this up tomorrow. I think that's very different than literally not feeling what you want to feel and just numbing yourself out with food or alcohol or TV or whatever else, right? So I think there's a fine line, or I shouldn't say a fine line. I think there's a balance in this. So if I can get you to shift from being disconnected most of the time to being disconnected only some of the time. So again, it's not about perfection. It's about consistency and frequency. And so I think the goal is 60 to 70% of the time, can you be pretty connected? That is really going to help you begin to shift the belief systems, to hear the conversation you have with yourself in the privacy of your own mind. And we know for a fact, again, too, psychological research shows us this, Our beliefs dictate our behavior dictates our health. And so if we really want to make these changes, or if you're the type of person that's like, yeah, I really want to do the diet, Aimee, but like I always sabotage myself, or I just can't seem to commit. It's because deep down your belief system is this really going to work for me? I feel like I've lost all hope. So you don't believe in the possibility. So the first thing we have to do is get you to believe in the possibility. And you do that by saying to yourself, am I open to the possibility? Because there are these other women that have done it, right? Aimee's helped women up to the age of 48 at this stage with their own eggs. One of my best friends, who's a fertility doctor, has helped women up to the age of 50 with their own eggs. So like there are people who are doing it. X number of miscarriages, X number of fertility treatments, whatever. Fill in the blank with the biggest challenge you can think of. People have overcome those. So what is it you want to subscribe to, right? That's the question you really need to ask yourself, and then you need to honestly answer it. And then you might have your answer. I actually don't believe this can ever happen for me. Okay. So then you have a choice now. Do you want to close the door? Or do you want to stay here? Because if you want to stay here, then you actually do believe on some level. Or you're a martyr and you just want to, make yourself suffer more and more and more and say that you're trying all these things and then really not trying them and not believing them. And I'm not picking on you, but I just am like pointing out the obvious. Like you determine what you believe as a possibility. You don't necessarily determine the outcomes, but you determine what you believe as the possibility. So it's up to you to reconnect to yourself, to hear the conversations, to have an honest conversation with yourself, and then you get to make the decisions that are right for you. And you get to decide where you're going to put your life. You're in the driver's seat. So many people don't want to be in the driver's seat because that's too much power, that's too much control. It scares the shit out of them because they don't want to fuck up their life, right? And they don't want to be the one to blame. They'd rather blame other people. That's another honest conversation you need to have with yourself. Would I rather blame and be the victim, or do I want to take back the power, right? And you can be a little bit of both. I love being the victim sometimes, and we all do it. It feels really good sometimes to be the victim. It's like this child, for me, I always say, like, sometimes I just want to be able to throw a temper tantrum like I did when I was 7, and someone came in and swooped me up and made me feel better, right? Some days I just want to do that. But other days, most days, right, I've done enough work that I want to look at myself in the mirror and be like, okay, Aimee, how are you showing up for you and for your goals? Do you feel good about how you show up for you and the goals that you have? Are you calling in the support that you need, right? And so much of that is based in these belief systems of myself, right? So then I go in to talk about autoimmunity. So at the very root of autoimmunity is the body not recognizing itself. And I think this is really interesting. Anybody dealing with autoimmune or suspecting autoimmune, this is like something to really hear. The body mistakenly attacks itself. That's on a cellular level, on an organ tissue level. Said another way, your autoimmunity, your body's misidentification of self, can begin to be healed only when you rekindle the relationship you have with yourself. As that reconnection grows stronger, you will honor yourself, you will hear yourself, you will support yourself, and you will start the process of renewing your beliefs. Once your beliefs shift, your biochemistry will shift. Again, science is here. I have all the science in here. This is not some hocus pocus thing that I made up. There's data to support this, and lots of it, lots of psychological data and research. Our beliefs dictate our chemistry in our brain, our physiology, and our behaviors, of course. So the first pillar of the body belief plan, Reconnect, leads right into the second pillar. That gives me so much hope. So my endocrinologist today said he was so insensitive, said because I have high prolactin and FSH, because I'm 44, you're fitting menopause. I know, my chances of conceiving. Okay, so let's see. You guys are so cute. Okay. So, and then renew means the process of beginning to shift those beliefs, right? So we have to first reconnect. That is like the ultimate pillar. And you can ask any of the women I work with personally one-on-one, anybody who's done my e-course. I focus a lot on the mental emotional piece and bringing you back home to you. Because only you really know what you need. I could be considered the expert here, and I have my opinions about the things that are best going to support us on our path to fertility and optimal health and all the things and healing. But you need to be aligned with you. Otherwise, you just get resentful of me and all the recommendations that are out there because you're like, I don't want to do this. Oh, I have to do this because I'm broken, or I'm using that word. I'm not saying that you are broken, but I have to do this because I'm not getting pregnant, or I can't heal this thing. And so I have to do these things. That's what everybody says, but I don't want to do these things because I hate my body and I'm so pissed at it, right? So the first thing you have to do is actually heal that disconnect. You hate your body and you're pissed at it. You got to heal that. You got to then say, okay, how can I get on the same team, at least some of the time, with my body, and heal that trauma bond. There's a trauma there that exists, and you feel like your body's violated you. You feel like your body's abandoned you. You're mad at your body. You're looking back at the past. You're holding on to that anger, that resentment, that grief, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is separating you. It's causing the disconnect. So before you go and dive in to follow the diet, you've really got to be honest with yourself about that piece of it. I am disconnected from myself because I'm pissed at my body. That's often what I see in my clients. Not saying that that's how you exactly feel, but that's the most common thread that I see. I feel let down. I feel angry. I feel sad. I feel like it's easier for everybody else than it is for me. And so there's this disconnect. And so the first step is really starting to hear that and then heal it. How can I say that better? Is that really the truth? Has my body failed me in all these other areas? Have I failed myself, right? How is that serving me? And I love that question to come back to that. How does this mentality serve me? How is it going to help me achieve my goals? It's not. It's going to just keep you in this loop of like sabotage, basically. So the reconnecting is so important. And then once we identify the core beliefs, which I give you a good breakdown on how to do that in this book, then we start to shift. And so renew means the process of shifting the belief. So it's about transitioning from, I don't think I'll ever feel good again, to I believe there's a possibility that I can heal, right? It's not black to white. It's literally black to a little gray, to a little gray, a little less gray, a little more white, right? I'm open to the possibility of believing this could happen for me. In my heart, call me crazy, all these things are stacked against me, but I still believe, right? That's possibility. That's willingness to shift your beliefs. So play around, massage those thoughts. So this is something I want to brief. You know now that beliefs and thoughts create chemical messengers in your brain. And when these thoughts and beliefs are activated over and over again, they actually form chemical pathways in your brain. That's why you often hear something like, it takes 3 weeks to change a habit. Your brain needs to get rewired. So this renewal will be a gradual one because your brain needs time to adapt to the new belief. You need time to become more comfortable with the new belief. So it's never black and white. It's never shoving affirmations down your throat. It's not toxic positivity. It's literally you massaging every day. Oh, I feel that way again. Okay, so do I believe in the possibility? Do I not believe in I do actually believe in the possibility. Okay, let me just remind myself again. I believe in the possibility. And the second you just do that, you open up your brain to so many new pathways, but you open up your world and you start to see the possibilities all around you. Oh, look at, she did it and he did it and they did it. And oh, okay. So I guess and you start to gain momentum on that side of the equation. So you're believing the new belief is very important to your transformation. And what I say is, and I always say this, I see it as soothing yourself from a less good feeling belief into a better feeling belief. Slow and steady works better and lasts longer than cold turkey. And then the third pillar, reawakening, is when you come back to life, where your healing process takes root and the transformation begins. So, and then I give a case study of a client of mine who was completely disconnected. And I summarize, when Lisa first started seeing me, she wasn't connected to her body. She had no idea why she was feeling so unwell. As we worked together, she began to listen to her body, to the conversation she was having with her body, and she slowly began her health transformation. You too can transform your health. You can reconnect to you and your body. You can renew your beliefs about your health and your body, and you can reawaken your health by making choices from a place of knowing your body. You can step back into your power and take care of the most important person in your life. You. It all begins with you forming a kinder, more loving, more compassionate, more supportive relationship with yourself. Reconnecting to yourself allows you to see the beliefs you have and how they are affecting your life. Once you can see those beliefs, you can decide to change them or not. And in that moment, you are taking back the power. It's really that simple. And then that's the end of chapter 3. And then we head into chapter 4. So as you can see, whether or not you've read this book, I know it's not my most popular. Yes, You Can Get Pregnant and The Egg Quality Diet are my most popular books, but this book is still very much like the core of my teachings, and it lays a really clear foundation, and is the basis of my fertility reboot that kicks off on Monday, is the basis of so much of my teaching in the Yes You Can Get Pregnant e-course, so much of the work that myself and my coaches do online and in our clinics. And it is this multifaceted approach that, if we're talking about fertility or we're talking about healing autoimmunity or reducing inflammation, it's not just like one supplement or one dietary change, right? It's a foundational approach. And my approach always is to heal the gut, heal the mind, right? The connection between the gut and the mind helps regulate the immune system and the nervous system. And that's it. And I know everybody wants but what do I do for my estrogen? What do I do for my low AMH? What do I do for my Hashimoto's? It's I hate to be simplistic, but it's kind of one and the same. There are tweaks for different people, but really coming back to the core and understanding that the initial piece to healing, to radically transforming your health, to achieving the goals that you want, is reconnecting to yourself, living in your body again, hearing the conversation you have with yourself in the privacy of your own mind, questioning your belief systems. Okay. I'm going to go, and I'm going to see you guys next week. If you feel like going and getting a copy, or you feel like there's someone in your life that could use a copy of this, or you've read it and you love it, leave a review for it on Amazon. That's really helpful for me. And, it's a great gift for so many people. It's the book I tend to give people that are in my life that aren't trying to conceive. And I'm like, even if you don't have a autoimmune condition, I feel like there's so many important pieces in this book to really help everybody live their best life. Okay, thank you so much for being with me today, and I'll see you guys soon.